Have you ever wondered what makes you, you? The answer lies in the three magical letters. DNA. DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, is the blueprint of life. It carries the intricate instructions needed for the growth, development, and functioning of all known organisms. Everything from your eye color to your height, your ability to digest certain foods, to your risk of certain diseases, it's all written in your DNA. In essence, DNA is the very code of life. But what exactly is it made of? If we were to unravel the DNA, it would reveal a two-stranded helical structure, a design that has fascinated scientists for decades. Imagine this. Two long, twisted ladders spiraling around each other. That's what the DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, looks like. This double helix structure is the backbone of life itself, holding all the instructions needed to create a living being. The sides of the ladder, known scientifically as the sugar-phosphate backbone, are composed of alternating sugars and phosphate groups. They're like the supporting rails of our DNA ladder. But what about the rungs? Well, they're made of nitrogenous bases, adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine, commonly known as A, T, G, and C. Now here's where things get interesting. These bases don't just randomly pair up, they follow a specific rule, Chargaff's rule, named after the scientist who discovered it. Adenine always pairs with thymine, creating an AT pairing, while guanine always pairs with cytosine, resulting in a GC pairing. This consistent pairing is what allows DNA to carry genetic information from one generation to the next. This combination of the double helix, the sugar-phosphate backbone, and the nitrogenous bases creates a structure that's both robust and flexible. It's strong enough to hold vital genetic information, yet flexible enough to unzip and replicate itself when needed. The beauty of DNA's structure is not just in its design, but also in its capability to replicate itself. DNA's ability to duplicate itself is nothing short of miraculous, a process vital for life to exist. Let's dive into the magic of DNA replication. It's a fascinating process where the DNA molecule makes an exact copy of itself. Imagine the DNA as a twisted ladder, or a double helix. Picture this ladder being unzipped, breaking the rungs in half. Each strand of the ladder then serves as a template for a new one. This unzipping act is performed by an enzyme called DNA helicase, which paves the way for the construction of new strands. Now, another enzyme, DNA polymerase, comes into play. It starts to move along each strand, adding matching nucleotides to the exposed bases. Think of it as rebuilding the broken ladder rungs, A to T, C to G, always. This meticulous pairing is guided by Chargaff's rule. But what's more astonishing is that this entire operation is remarkably accurate. Only about one mistake occurs for every billion nucleotides added. This is due to the DNA polymerase's proofreading ability, which corrects any errors in real time. At the end of this replication dance, two identical DNA molecules are produced from one. Each molecule contains a strand from the original DNA and a newly synthesized strand. This ensures that each new cell will have an exact copy of the DNA, carrying the same genetic information. This precise process of replication ensures continuity of life, but what function does DNA serve? DNA is not just a molecule, it's a storyteller, a blueprint, and an instruction manual all rolled into one. It carries the genetic instructions that guide the development, growth, reproduction, and functioning of all known living organisms, and even many viruses. Think of it as the software of life, containing the code that influences everything from your eye color to your susceptibility to certain diseases. One of DNA's primary functions is to code for proteins, the building blocks of your body. Every protein, from the ones that make up your hair and skin to those that drive your metabolic processes, starts with a set of instructions in your DNA. It's like a chef following a recipe. The DNA provides the ingredients and steps needed to create each protein, which then go on to perform vital tasks in your body. So now you know DNA is not just a molecule, it's the very essence of life, the reason you are you. You may be wondering why DNA is often referred to as a polynucleotide molecule. The answer lies in its composition. DNA is a polymer, essentially a large molecule built from smaller ones. The smaller molecules in DNA are called nucleotides, each made up of three parts, a phosphate group, a sugar, and a nitrogenous base. It's the sequential arrangement of these nucleotides that makes DNA a polynucleotide. DNA, the polynucleotide molecule, is indeed an intricate marvel of nature, encoding the story of life in its every strand. Welcome to our online family. Your one like inspires me to make a new video. If you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Subscribing helps support the channel, and you'll stay updated with the latest videos. Click the subscribe button below if you want to see more content like this.